on Google could report on
Hey guys, okay,
Once
enough.
again.
Okay, no more. We're on. We're live. All right. So the first thing is let me see if I can zoom in here on this. Cool. I zoomed in a little bit. Yep. So first of all, like I said before, your decimals are right after the numbers, so that would be 98.0. So if I wrote this 98.0. Now it says it's 10 to the second power, so that's times 100. So there's 2 zeros in there. Also, you could just look at the number 2. You'll know that you move the decimal to the right because it's getting bigger. And if you're not sure which way to move it, always think if I move it to the right, it's going to be 980. I'm multiplying by 100.
There's no decimal in that 98.
Yes, but you add it to the end. You always have a decimal at the end of a number, even if it's not there. So you move it over 2 place values, and now the answer will be 9800, and the decimal point will have moved all the way to the end, and that would be 9,800. Now you could put a decimal point or get rid of it. You don't need it on the end. It's not necessary in this problem. Okay. All right. So let me erase that. The second one, we have 56. Now notice there's no decimal point again. You're going to put the decimal point always goes after a whole number, so it goes at the end if it's not there, okay? Now this time we're moving it, times it by 1,000, so there's 3 zeros. So we're going to move it 3 times, okay? So if I move it over 3 times, it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Notice there's nothing there, so I must add 3 zeros, right? And the decimal point now goes at the end. So it's 56,000, okay? Sorry, 56,000, 0, 0, 0. It's hard to write so small. All right. So this is how you do all the problems. Remember, if there is no decimal point, you put it at the end of the numbers. So the ones that do not have decimals, number 7, you put the decimal point at the end. Number 8, put the decimal point after the 9. Let's see. Number 12, there's a decimal point goes after the 5. And that's it. All the rest of those numbers have a decimal there, and you just have to move it over, okay? So go ahead and try. Just have to move the decimal point for, you either use the number of zeros to move it to the right, 2 zeros right there, you move it 2, or you can also use the number of the exponent, that's 3. That means it would be 3 zeros, that'd be 1,000. So you just moved over 3. So you can use the exponent number?
Nelson,
yes, sir.
I don't understand.
That when you're multiplying by a power of 10, you move the decimal to the right, 1 place value?
I understand that, but it's just that on the thing it doesn't show the decimals.
I just went over where all the decimals go. Were you listening?
Yeah, but I don't understand.
Okay, so ready? The decimals, most of these problems have a decimal. Number 3, 9.78. There's the decimal right there, between the 9 and the 7, right?
Okay.
There's one right here, 0.67, the decimal point before the 6. Okay? This one, it's between the 8 and the 9. This one, 78.2, has the decimal right there. Number 7 does not have a decimal point, so you have to put it at the very end of the number. If it's a whole number, it always goes at the end. That would be 9,689 point. Now, if there's nothing after it, you could put a 0.0. It won't change the value of the number. And that one's going to be moving to the right. You're going to have to add some zeros in there when you move it. You're moving it over 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 zeros in 10,000. So that one's going to have to get moved over 4. 1.
I accidentally moved them over
3.
to the left.
Well, then you're dividing.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
How bad is that decimal? Like, if it has a decimal, like, in it, there can't just be a decimal at the end. I was taught that there's always a 0 at the end, at least.
You could put a decimal point and a 0, yes. You could put a point .0 at the end. That's fine. Just fill it in with a
That's,
point.
okay, I'm just making sure it wasn't something
I mean, honestly, Mac, you could put .0000 and it's going to be the same value. It's not going to change the value of the number. When you multiply it by 10,000, it will then change the value by moving the decimal to the right. It will get to be a larger number, okay? So the number 8, so number 7, I moved it over 4 place values. This is going to be a huge number, number 7. So I'm going to write this out. 9, 6, yeah.
Do you have any more soup downstairs?
No, you guys finished it last night.
All right.
Okay, so as you can see, I got 9, 6, 8, 9, and I got 4 zeros. Note I'm not putting any commas in here yet because I got to count my place values. And then there's 4 zeros. Okay, so there's my 4 zeros. Now I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put a comma. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put another comma. So my value for number 7 becomes 96,890,000. I could put my decimal at the end and a 0.0 if I would like. I do not need to do that because it ends with a 0. You can leave off the decimal point, okay? All right. Maria, do you see where I'm putting the decimals on those problems now?
Yeah, I understand.
There's only a couple of problems. There's number 12. You have to do it on number 12. You'll have to do it on number 8. Those are the only other 2 problems you're going to have to actually add your decimal in, okay? All right. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing. When I stop sharing, it's going to erase everything, so